Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Ramblings from Two Meddling Kids. I'm Edward Hunt, and this is,
Mike Cunningham.
and we are the Meddling Kids. And today we'll be reviewing Booksmart. For those of you just joining us, or if you just like a quick review, how we break this down is we'll give you a spoiler-free review, scale of 0 to 5, where we just talk, broad about the movie, what we thought of it, whether or not you think you should go, what our basic thoughts on it were. From there, we'll have a little bit of background, and then we'll basically give you a play-by-play of the movie as if you were there with us watching it, and finish with an outro. The thought is, if you haven't seen the movie yet, but you're still interested in seeing it, listen to the first 10 minutes of our podcast, give it a quick pause, then go and see it, or not, up to you, and then come back, and we'll be here with you. All right, Mike, you ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
All right, spoiler-free review. Let's hear it.
Okay, so this one was really, really good. It's very reminiscent of, what is it, Superbad?
Yep, Superbad.
Which is interesting because one of the main characters, Bernie Feldstein, I believe, is Jonah Hill's sister. So it's just, and you can really tell, like, obviously she makes it her own. I'm not gonna say like she was playing her brother, but there's very much similarities in the performances. So yeah. I love the relationship, the chemistry between the two leads. Like you could just really tell. Like I don't know if they're really good friends in real life, or they're just really great actresses. Yeah. But just like the moments where they were giving each other compliments.
Oh my gosh!
Like
yeah,
that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was amazing. Like so, it's such a great movie. It was like very interesting because it's like 2019, so it's like a more modern coming of age telling. Very very aware for like a lot of issues at the time of these times and stuff like that. But it wasn't like ham-fisted or anything like that. Yeah, all the characters like very interesting. It's like very much like the cast of like The Office or something like that. Okay, yeah, everybody has their own quirk. Yeah, and it all works. Everybody was like doing great. Such a like a great talented young cast. Yes, which is interesting because I do want to see where they go from here. Cast was great, story was great. The pacing was like it wasn't too long. It was like very much like. I mean, it's a comedy, so like I was saying, like sometimes it's very skit-esque, where it's just like kind of things come out of nowhere. How
it's broken up.
Yeah, but no, I loved it. This one's 4.5. Nice. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I don't have too many negative things to say about it.
Okay. Oh, all right. Fair. For me, and I think it really is. So it's a teenage coming of age story in 2019, right? That's when it came out, and it encapsulates that. So very teenage-esque, focus on teenagers, teenage drama, teenage problems.
You've said teenage like 14 times.
Yeah, well, it's teenage. Teenage. Again, good movie.
I wonder if it's about teenagers.
There were some parts that I wasn't the biggest fan of, specifically Molly's character. I found her very unlikable at times because of how she was interacting with others, especially. Amy, her friend, was phenomenal. I loved Amy. I thought Amy's storyline was great. Molly, I'm just not sure if she fully learned her lesson in the end also, and we'll talk about that. But with that, I still give it a 4. I think it's very good. I agree with reminiscent of Superbad with just slightly different twists and with a different focus. And I'm giving it 4 also partially because it's a teenage coming of age story. So I'm not holding it to as high of a standard as I am other movies. And I'm allowing more things to just kind of slip through the cracks. As a way of like something to watch that's entertaining, kind of fun, yeah, I'll put this on. As something that has heart, yeah, I'll put this on as well. If you're looking for a completely tightened up plot line and everything, yeah, you start losing things on that end. But again, entertaining, I'll give it a 4. All right. Before we hop to our background and plot summary, a quick word from our sponsors, moi. And one day Mike might be a sponsor too. I don't know. But
I'll sell some shit.
There you go. But again, I'm a real estate agent in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. I'm on the Just Be team. We are all about finding where you're meant to be. A big passion of mine is movies, which is why I'm doing this. And that's kind of what my team is about, is finding you a place where you can just be yourself. From there, we're also with the brokerage of Compass, who has phenomenal agents all over the U.S. So if you don't live in D.C., Maryland, or Virginia, but you still want to find a home or sell a home and you need a great agent, please reach out to me. I'll make sure to find you one. All right, Mike, you ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so Booksmart came out in 2019. It is the directorial debut, I know words, yes, of Olivia Wilde.
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I forgot this was her debut for that too. Yeah.
So it stars Caitlin Dever as Amy on my right, was her on the right, and Bernie Feldstein as Molly on the left. And you also have Jessica Williams. I think she was big on The Daily Show. Jason Sudeikis, I think was married to Olivia Wilde at the time.
Okay.
Lisa Kudrow, Will Forte, Mason Gooding. I like a lot of the young stars. What's it? Deanna Silvers, Molly Gordon.
Yeah.
Skylar. I can't pronounce that last name. Is it like just Sando or something like that? But yeah,
Eduardo Franco. He's in a lot of these teen movies.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's the dude. Yeah, he's the
it.
Guy with the really long straight hair. He's in a lot of movies.
Always
like
a
this.
stoner.
Yeah, always kind of the stonerish vibe. But I like Eduardo Franco.
So runtime about an hour and 42 minutes. It was released, like I said, in 2019, May 24th.
Yeah.
The budget was $6 million. Box office $24 million. So,
okay. Made a little pretty penny.
Yeah, not too bad.
I wouldn't scoff at $20 million or $18 million.
Especially for like a directorial debut. It's more of an independent film.
Yeah.
It was very good. I don't know if the plot summary basically just two academic teenage superstars. So they are both the valedictorian and salutatorian in the high school.
Yeah.
I guess they realized that they spent so much time focused on school that they didn't really enjoy school.
Yeah.
And so the night before graduation, they're trying to cram 4 years of
partying
and fun into one night.
Yeah.
And so that's where we meet them.
That's where we pick up. Because it really opens with Molly sitting in her room listening to affirmations.
Yes.
Of just, you are beautiful. You are here. You're ready for it. Fuck everyone else that thinks that they're better than you.
I love that term. You're just sitting there like, yes. Wait.
Whoa.
Was that Michelle Obama?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But it was like, so it opens up on Molly sitting in her room, kind of like meditating, listening to her words of affirmation tape.
Yeah.
And like literally she's very much a seize the day. Like she's very like goal oriented, loves school, has her whole life planned out. Basically, she wants to be in politics. She wants to be the youngest, I think the youngest woman ever elected to the Supreme Court and stuff like that. So she has her
full life plan.
And then, so like, as you walk outside, like she leaves her apartment and her best friend, Amy, is there in the car. And it was like, the movie opens up with like their friendship. And I think that's what you love about like, talking about like showing, not telling, right? They could have told you, oh, you've been my best friend since like middle school or some stupid shit like that. They usually do. And like,
I love you, sis. You've been the best ever.
But it was like, they just show you how close they are. So it's just like, Amy's there to pick up Molly so they can go to school. And like, she has a radio blasting. Molly's dancing down her stairs. So Amy was like, why the fuck not? So they just have a dance party out.
Super awkward dance party of just the two of them just having fun. And that is a great part of it is that chemistry they have. Because you can tell they're like, they're great friends. Because it's awkward teenage.
I just love the fact that like as she's dancing, she's like, "Are we gonna go to school?
We're going to school." It's like, screw that. No, we're not doing it. And like, what's that? Like the Thriller, like shuffle kind of. It is awkward, bad dancing, but it's so endearing watching them just enjoy each other.
It was just to open it up with her affirmations and the cussing.
Yeah,
and then like their friendship was just amazing. So they drive to school, and you find out that one of them is Molly is the class president.
Yes.
And
the ass president. It's the class president. The CL and class president is crossed out.
So they're walking through the school, and students are just wilding the fuck out because it's the last day. Shit.
You don't even fully realize it's the last day. But and again, another great way this movie is showing, not telling, of you just walk in and, chaos is going on in the school, but it's because it's the last day. So this isn't normally how the school goes.
But Molly being Molly, she goes, the principal is giving the kind of this last... this last message to the students was like, can't wait to see you next year. Like, we've done great things, all this stuff. So Molly comes in. She was like, I really want to get down the budget. And he's like, lady, leave me alone. Like, it's the last fucking day.
We don't have to do this. Go. Get out of here. Slow down. Get out of here.
And then it jumps to... So you're meeting different students. And then, they're in, I guess, a homeroom sometime for their teacher, played by Jessica Williams. Her name is Miss Fine. And you meet their different classmates. So you have like the stoner guy that we talked about. You got the rebel chick. You got the girl they call Triple A because she's she has a reputation.
Yeah.
You have the drama students who live it up to a T. Like they're definitely drama. They are the drama super students. Dramatic.
Yeah. Then you have the mean girl in there who's just kind of like being condescending towards.
You have
Amy.
the rich kid who's basically using his money to get people to like him.
Yeah.
And so it's like you get to meet like the class dynamics, and you see that both Molly and Amy are Miss Fine's like favorite students.
Yeah.
She offers to give them her number because they won't be her students anymore. Like that's how close they are.
Yeah. And of course, Molly, even though it's the last day, stands up and is like, so based to start classes, based on my analysis of the reading we have going on here. Again, you have all of this. And also a key fact that they talked about with the principal before this was that students don't know where other students are going to school.
Yes, they kept everything a secret.
Yeah. And that was partially because Molly didn't want other students to feel insecure about what's going on. Yeah. Which is such a good ironic twist.
So then they jumped to lunch. And it was like, I always loved lunch. Like basically just high schools in general in Hollywood. Yeah. It was like, who the fuck is going to these college campuses?
Right.
Like, it was like they have this really open, like, basically there's it's like outside of the school. So it's not even a cafeteria. But they're sitting out and you see like the different groups or whatever. Yes. So you meet Nick, who is the vice president. He's basically like your jock. You meet the skater girls or stuff like who. And so like both Amy and Molly are sitting together talking about, and they having these funny exchanges. And Amy is staring at this girl Ryan, who she has a crush on, and Molly is just like, go talk to her, like you know you want to. And I appreciated that because it wasn't this like. She's obviously like she has come out like she said that I think 2 years prior. Yep. But it wasn't like making a big deal out of it. It was like you like this is who you like. Go talk to her. Yeah. It wasn't like making her sexuality a huge part of her.
It's very natural.
Yes,
it's very natural. This film is so again. I'm going to repeat myself. Natural in just all the interactions they have. Like as Mike said, Amy has now been out for 2 years, but it's not a huge focus of the film. That's not Amy's entire persona is on the fact she came out 2 years ago. She's a fully fleshed out character who has her own interests, likes, dislikes, and she also came out 2 years ago, which is great. And then Molly, who's the class president, she has her own interests and likes, dislikes, etc. But they still come together and they focus on what they love about each other, which is their friendship.
Yeah. So Molly convinces Amy to go talk to Ryan. It's a very awkward exchange.
Yes, it is. These two are very awkward. They're very awkward.
Teenagers. What are you going to do? Yeah. But before she walks away from Ryan invites her to Nick's party.
Yeah, she'd love to see her there.
Yeah. And then so you jump to Molly going, she's in the bathroom.
Yep, she goes to the bathroom.
And in the bathroom, you have these three guys, one of them being like one of the stoner guys, one of Nick's friends, I believe. Yep. And then AAA comes in because it's a gender neutral bathroom.
Yeah, so that like cool, I'm for it. But I was just so confused for a second because like she's going to the bathroom and then all of a sudden you hear the two guys talking. I was like, wait a second, what? Like, okay, cool. And like it's very modern. It's a very modern film.
So the guys are actually all three of them are having this conversation about like I guess a fuck, marry, kill between certain people. And Molly's name comes up and they just start bashing her because, like you said, it's very much she is an unlikable character because she looks down on people who don't focus on academics.
And that's the key here. And that's why I find her unlikable because you mentioned her plan earlier. Like, and that's a phenomenal plan. Be the youngest Supreme Court justice. But Molly really uses all of her focus on school and her focus on her goals and trying to be like this best person ever to look down on others. And she judges all these people because we'll find out this high school is just full of the nicest kids ever. Like literally there's not a single bully anywhere. Everyone is they're all quirky, but everyone is so welcoming and loving of everyone in this high school. So not how high schools are, but in Hollywood
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
But no, so so they're having these conversations outside. So Molly leaves the stall and she's like, oh, don't stop on my account. Thinking that she's embarrassing them. And then she makes a comment about, well, I'm going to Yale. I don't know what you degenerates or losers are doing. Yeah. And AAA, the girl that's there says, oh, I'm going to Yale too.
Which AAA, so she got the name because promiscuous. AAA is a car service. So when she would pick up guys from parties, she'd hook up with them. Yeah. AAA's words were, well, I may be really good at giving hand jobs, but I also got a 1560 on the SAT. I'm also going to Yale.
Yeah. And so this is when, once again, like you said earlier, Molly had this whole thing where nobody knows where they're going. But she made it slip because she wanted to make them feel inferior. Yep. And now she finds out that, hold on, how is this girl going to Yale? So she asked the two guys. One of them is Theo. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
But the other guy, he says, oh, I got a scholarship, a soccer scholarship. I'm going to Stanford. She was like, Stanford
University.
And then Theo, who is, she says, You went to seventh grade
You
twice.
failed seventh grade twice.
And he was like, rule of threes.
Rule of threes, yeah. Because he's not going to college. He was like, well, I'm not going to college.
Yeah,
I'm just going to Google.
Yeah. He was like, it's not Amazon or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like these, and it's opening her mind to the fact that it was like these students who she considered, to be, inferior.
She looked down on all of it. And that's really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And it made it a little hard for me to root for her at times. It's because she was judging these people so hard.
And then so AAA. Oh no! And then they mentioned that Nick, the vice president, who's the jock, is going to Georgetown.
Yep. Yeah.
Gigi is going to. Oh, so then she goes. Molly goes around asking, even though you're not supposed to. She asks a few students who she considers to be lower than her.
Yeah,
which is basically everybody.
Yeah.
Where they're going, and Gigi
and Jared are my favorite characters. I think.
But Gigi goes, it was my fifth choice, but
Harvard. So don't judge me.
Another important thing that AAA says when they're in the bathroom, she goes, "We care about school. We just don't only care about school."
Yeah,
that's what's in because of the fact that she assumed that if she had this understanding of she only focused on school, she would come out the best.
Yeah,
but the fact that. And then this is kind of breaking her mind. Yep. The fact that the people that were out having fun, smoking, drinking, partying, doing whatever, were also, going to the same great Ivy League schools or whatever as her. Yeah. It was like, so what was she doing wrong? She kind of focused on the wrong thing.
Yeah. Also, quick time because we're talking about them, and also this just being the nicest school ever. Literally, even when they're insulting Molly, they're being like, well, she's just like, everything's great about her, but her personality. Yeah. So she's a butter personality. I'm like, that's your insult. That is your insult right now for this girl that very looks down on everybody, and everyone feels that she looks down on her. Like, yeah, her personality sucks. Everything else about her is pretty great, though. And I'm like, what high school is this?
There's just call her a boob.
Yeah. I am. I'm like, what the hell? You're going to insult somebody, insult them the right way.
This generation is too positive.
Y'all are some positive kids out there.
So after school, Amy and Molly meet, at some spot, and it was this is another funny thing. So it's just like Molly is just quiet because she's fuming at realizing she feels like she wasted the last 4 years. So like Amy's like playing a song in the car. She's like, if you don't say something soon, I'm gonna really feel.
I'll take you to the hospital.
And so like Molly, basically Molly says like, we wasted our time focusing on only school. We need to party. We need to live it up tonight. We need to do something. And like, so initially Amy isn't for it. She's like, I don't care. Like, who cares? But she goes along with, her friend, which is, obviously indicative of their friendship. And we'll explore that.
Molly likes to push and get her way with things.
Yeah. So they go to Amy's house, and this is where you get a montage of them getting ready.
Yes.
Or whatever, which was once I love any moment with them, like showing their friendship, showing not
so nice. Yeah,
it was amazing. It was like, so they're sitting. They have these these blue, like that's a painter jumpsuits or something like that, and like fedoras on and some shit like that.
They look still a little dark. But
it was just like they're giving each other compliments,
hyping each other up,
and it was just amazing. And then like, so they go out to meet, and they put heavy winter coats on to hide the fact that they're kind of dressed up. And Amy's parents thought that the four of them, being that since they don't really have friends, they just have each other. Yeah, the four of them were going to just hang out that night and really like just celebrate the fact that they're graduating.
Yeah. They also assume that Amy and Molly are a couple because they only hang out with each other.
And so like they kind of convinced the parents to let the two girls hang out, just solo tonight. Yeah. So they leave the house, and then like, so Molly is trying to get the address for Nick's party because. They, obviously they know the party's happening, but they're not in with those people enough to like really know like where it is. Cause it's not at Nick's house. It's at his aunt's house. Yeah. And so.
Well, even that, they're all like calling everybody they know. Yeah. And then they're just like, well, the reason is they think you're just calling about school. Yeah. Again, just nice teenagers here.
So they call the one person that will pick up, who is Jared. He's your rich kid who basically kind of uses his money to get people to like him. Mm-hmm. That's what they think, and that's kind of off-putting because he's like kind of too positive.
Yeah, well, people like there's rumors about him. Like there's a rumor that for his 14th birthday, his dad bought him a prostitute and all this other stuff. So like, and again, Molly is believing a lot of these rumors and like sharing them with Amy. Mm-hmm. And like, but yeah, that's so he comes in. A lot of people, but he just comes in, hands people gifts, and says, "Hey, cool. So come to my party."
Yeah. He picks them up and. their understanding is he's going to take them to Nick's
party. That's where they think they're going. The best party that evening.
Yeah. So he actually takes them to his graduation party, which is on a yacht. And they go inside.
Yeah.
So they go inside and nobody's there except for Gigi, who is like one of his best friends, but she is a loose fucking can.
Yeah, she is.
And so
love Gigi. Yeah.
So like Gigi gives them like they eat strawberries and like Gigi has an exchange with Amy upstairs, and then like she's smoking a joint, or
reefer cigarettes.
Okay, boomer. And so like while they're upstairs, Molly and Jared are downstairs, and she's basically like telling him like you're off-putting, like and he kind of lets it slip that he likes her.
Yeah, because she's going to like, you're trying too hard. You're off-putting. You can't just buy people's affection. And then first, and this is why I love Jared. He's a very endearing character. He's like, my parents did that. My grandparents did that. So he doesn't fully get that you can't do that. And then when she says to him, he's like, well, you're trying too hard. Jared's like, well, you try really hard. That's why I like you. And you're just like, oh, man, this dude has like some feelings about things. And you're like, oh. And then Molly then storms. She's like, and then she just storms off.
Yeah, so she storms off. She goes to get Amy, and while this is happening, Gigi is berating one of the waiters because he's like, "You can't smoke up here." Yeah, and Gigi goes, "What did you say to my friend?" He was like, "I didn't say that. I said it to you."
Like, what did you say to my best friend?
So like now, like so she sets off fireworks and she jumps off the side of the boat.
Yeah, she like breaks a bottle, threatens the guy, and she's like, "We gotta get out of here."
And so they escape the yacht, and they're like, "Holy shit, what happened?" And so like. Amy's ready to call it a night. It was like nobody's giving us the address.
We went to a party.
But Molly is determined. Like she really wants to go to
Nick's party.
Nick's party. So she gets a text from one of the kids from the drama school. I believe his name is Alan.
Yes, I don't remember both.
Yeah, names. But she gets an address from one of the kids from the drama club. So she's like, "Let's go." But also, I think before that, did she call Malala before? She called.
I think. I'm gonna say yes. She
at the yacht,
Malala.
Right?
Yeah.
So like Amy doesn't want to go, but they have a safe word. Malala, who is,
or maybe Malala could have been after the drama party. Now that I'm thinking about it, because it was Amy.
No. That's when Gigi spills the beans.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Molly calls Malala, which is their safe word, to kind of like you just support your friend no matter what.
Yep, you get one of those a year.
Yeah. So they go to the address that was given them by the drama club, and it is not Nick's party again. Yeah, it is.
But before that, how do they get to the drama party?
Oh yeah, so they call it. And this is another funny thing. Yeah. Speaking once again, showing not. I mean, they said it, but it was just like they realized that Molly has a horrible Uber rating because she's just berating drivers.
She just berates drivers all the time. Yeah.
So like they get picked up in his really cool car, and who is it but Jason Sudeikis, their principal?
The principal, yeah.
And so he goes on this rant about like, you know, how it's subsidizing income and like, oh, he's writing a book about a detective. And it was just like very like seeing your like the horrors of seeing a teacher outside of school.
As a former teacher, I felt that. Like, it was such an awkward, like funny but awkward. He's like, well, you know, like I'm trying all these other things. I'm writing a book. You know, I just want to make a little extra income. You know, teacher's salary. And they're like, oh yeah, teacher's salary. It's awful.
He was like, you can call me Jordan. He was like, that's okay, Principal Brown.
Principal Brown. Yeah.
And then another funny thing that happens before they get to the party. So like Amy is a little bit worried about hooking up with Ryan because like she came out 2 years ago, but she still hasn't kissed a girl.
Yep. Yeah.
And so like I
saw this coming a mile away.
Molly's solution to it is for them to watch porn. And she once again, I guess maybe it's a future politician. Yeah. But she gives this whole speech about like, why aren't they allowed as young women to watch porn? So like they plug in a pair of headphones and start watching this porn. And then they realize Molly realizes that her phone is dying. Yeah. So they ask, the driver for a charger.
Principal Brown.
And so he gives him a charger. She hooks it up, and he looks back and sees that they're listening to something on the phone. And he's like, "Oh, if you guys want to listen to your music,
I got you. Don't worry about it."
So he basically gives him the aux, and all he hears is whatever's going on in his sex scene, which is just
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah, exactly. It was a sex scene in pornography.
Yeah. So awkward moment. Yeah. So they get dropped off at the party at the address, And then it's not Nick's party, it's the drama club party.
Yeah.
And they're having a murder mystery party. Mm-hmm. And so like one of the guys is being super dramatic. Apparently every time somebody enters, he goes into character.
Yeah. Someone killed my husband. Yeah. It's just, and the guy's like, you don't need to do that every time.
He said, but I love that he was like super mad at him, but he was like mouthing the words from the script. Yeah. And he was like, you're at a 10, I need you at a 2. Yeah. This drama club amazing. Yeah. And then like, so he lets them stay because like apparently 2 people didn't show up. Mm-hmm. So he was like, you're he gives Amy the farm girl. Yeah. And then he gives Molly the orthodontist, who's barren.
Yeah, the barren, destitute orthodontist. And then Molly's like, it just says orthodontist on the character sheet. Molly's not very liked by some
people.
Like people like Amy. Yeah, like people.
So like they go through some of the rooms, and then they come across Gigi.
It just pops up randomly, which is great.
And then like, so she takes them to the closet to talk to them, and she's like, I'm surprised you guys are still cool even after what I gave you. And they're like, what? And you find out that the strawberries that they gave them at Jared's party were laced with something. Yeah. It was like, she said peyote or something?
Well, it was like,
something ayahuasca.
It's ayahuasca, but in Asia. Asian-wasca.
Fucking Gigi. Yeah, so like, then they realize, they go off to a room, and this is where you get their trip, where just like, they start like, and this is where she was giving me her brother, Molly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Bernie was giving me Jonah Hill.
Okay,
or just like
from Superbad.
From Superbad. And it was like, so like they pass out and they wake up and they're dolls.
Yeah, they're Barbie dolls. Yeah.
And it was like this whole thing about like Molly's like, what is up with this unrealistic body? Yeah. It was like, where's my chub or whatever. And then like Amy, they look at themselves in the mirror as dolls, and Amy's like, I know I shouldn't like this because it sets wrong stereotypes about women, but I think I like this. Mine is so smooth. And it was like they're just tripping balls, and then like they slowly make it out of the. Molly just looks at the drama club kids. Fuck you.
Yeah, they're like walking out like they can't bend their legs because they're Barbies and they don't think they can bend their limbs anymore.
And then like, so they escape the house, and then like they kind of lay out on the grass and recover.
Yep. Quick trip.
Yeah, which was I thought it was going to be a little bit longer, more hijinks ensuing.
Yeah,
it's to the point.
Yeah, there you go.
And then so like, after they trip, Amy is again like, okay, we went to 2 parties. Nothing has gone the way we thought it would tonight. Yeah. Can we please just go home? Mm-hmm. But Molly is still adamant about going to Nick's party. Yeah. And this is when
Gigi pops up again.
Gigi pops up because they're just sitting outside on the front lawn.
But Gigi just pops up randomly constantly.
And she goes, because Molly is in love with Nick.
Yeah.
And you see her kind of, once again, teenager, kind of denying it because I can't like him. I'm smart. He's an idiot. Like, there's no, like, he might be attractive. And it was like, you can definitely tell. Yeah. She likes him, but she can't justify it in her mind because of who she sees herself as. Yeah. And the lowly person she sees him as. Yeah. He's just a Neanderthal. He's a brute.
I will say, and again, with Molly, it's very clear that a lot of her judgment throughout this entire movie is partially a self-defense mechanism as well. Yeah. She does, you can see that. However, she is very judgmental for the entire movie. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, I want to root for you, girl. I really do. I just need you to, you're at a 10. Just make it like an 8 or a 7.
So she admits that she likes him. And but she goes, he wouldn't like someone like me. And this goes back to their friendship where Amy slaps Molly. She goes, don't you ever talk about my best friend like that. And it was like still like, she didn't want to go out at all, but now she realized that she has this crush. She was like, we need to see this through. And also not letting her talk bad about herself. Yeah.
Great friendship. Yeah.
So this is when it's funny. So it's a little montage of them doing what they do best. They still don't have an address. Yeah. But what they are good at is motherfucking homework. So they go to the library and they start viewing different people's social media to trying to get an idea of what the address of this house.
Yeah, where the party is.
So they recognize in one of the videos, Theo's doing some stunt with pizza boxes. There's like 15 pizza boxes. Yeah. And they know it's Lito's Pizza. So they go there and they're going to find a way to get the delivery driver to give them the address of the party. And this is a very ridiculous, funny exchange where like they tie their hair up to mask their faces. Yeah. Because they hide in the back of the delivery van. Yep. The delivery car. And then like are like, give us the address of and he's like, you don't want money, you want a fucking address?
Like what are you, children? And she's like, doesn't matter. And he's like, you lowering your voice doesn't help.
So like, there's this whole exchange, and so he gives them the address, and then they're like, "Well, can you give us a ride?" And he was like, "Of course, yeah." No, get the fuck out of my.
Because the entire time too, he's just like, "What are you thinking? Like, you don't know me. I could drive across state lines. I could have you tied up in a cabin right now." He's like,
he's very specific on it. He was like, "Did you think about being assaulted or anything?"
Because he was like, "Do you even have a weapon?" And they're like, "Well, no." And he's like, "Because I have a weapon." He like whips out a gun from the glove compartment, and he's like, "What were you even thinking about? This is so dumb." But he gives him the address.
Kicks him out of the car. Yeah. They go to get an Uber, but her phone's dying.
Yeah.
Because once again, they realize they watched so much porn on this phone that apparently drained her battery. And Amy accidentally left her phone in his car.
Yeah.
So she has 2% left. She makes one call to someone.
Yes.
Then her phone dies. And then you see that the person they called was Mrs. Fine.
Yep.
So they have the address. They get phone charged, and then like they're driving to the place.
Yeah.
And she was like, she's honestly, once again, being that very positive, teacher, she's like,
Miss Fine has history. Miss Fine has a deep sordid history, apparently.
But she's like, she's kind of proud of them for kind of living, right? Because it's like, that's what youth, as in your youth, you're supposed to live. Like, you're not supposed to be you obviously focus on your future, but it was like, don't be defined by it type of thing.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. Because it was, as you know, like, you've lived life where it's just like, the best laid plans are cute, but it was like, you'll lay something out and then you'll actually live it, and it may not align with what you thought.
Yeah.
So she gives them new clothes because, like you said, they were dressing they were dressing good for their minds, like who they were, still dorky.
Yeah.
So she gives them these sparkly dresses, and then they go on another back and forth of like
just hyping each other up.
Yeah. And like to the point where like Miss Fine is like, "Girls, go in the damn party. What are you doing?"
Yeah. But also Miss Fine, who told him was like in her 20s, she partied way too hard, etc. Miss Fine was like, "Wouldn't it be like crazy if like I went in there? Like that'd be like so crazy, right? Like I'm not going to because that'd be too crazy, right?" And I'm like, "Damn it, Miss Fine." Yeah.
So then now they are finally at the party, at Nick's party. And so they walk in, and there's this little like dance number where like Molly sees Nick, he sees her, everybody else disappears.
She's
and
imagining this.
Yeah, he's out. I think they might still be tripping.
Yeah.
So like they have this little dance, and then they kind of break off. So like Molly goes and talks to Nick.
Yeah.
What's her name? Amy talks to Ryan, and it's nice. You see these exchange, and this is what you were talking about. These kids being so nice.
Yeah.
Like you would assume, like in every other coming of age teenage movie, like when the girl, like the nerdy girl, finally talks to the jock that she's been like adoring like the entire film, like he's a jerk or he's real dim-witted or something like that. But he was like super cool, like kind of flirting with her, like kind of excited that she was there because of the fact that because of who they are, like they never partied on the weekends.
Yeah. Everyone is excited to see them. Every single person at this party,
and it was
like,
that was very refreshing. It was a nice twist on the I guess high school.
Yeah, because everyone's like, "Oh, we're so glad," because you would like never.
Even the guy that that she had talked down to in the bathroom that had it going to Stanford. He was just like, "You guys freak me out, but I like it. I'm gonna miss you guys." I like it. Yeah. So it was just like it was cool to see that dynamic where it was just like they didn't hit you in the head with, "Oh, he's a jock, he's dumb, he's going to he's going to like that." Facade or whatever is going to drop like as soon as like she gets close. So like they have this thing, they're playing beer pong together, like flirting. He mentions like Harry Potter and like he correctly predicts that she's like half Slytherin, half Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
And then you see Amy with Ryan.
Yep.
And like they're flirting and stuff like that. They go and do karaoke in one of the rooms, and like she kind of breaks out and actually performs.
Yep.
And it's like it's really just nice seeing like them.
They're flourishing.
Yeah. And so like Ryan, I think Ryan invites Amy to go to the pool because like all the kids are kind of jumping in the pool, like taking their clothes off and jumping in the pool. And as she's swimming, is very much just like you can see her finally living life.
Yeah, she's like enjoying herself. Everyone's like, there's a lot of other teenagers. Everyone's in their underwear in the pool having fun. And then she sees two legs interlocked. She sees Ryan underwear, like from under, like tattoos from under the water. And then she breaches the surface. And what does she see?
She sees both Ryan and Nick hooking up in the pool. And like, so she's automatically devastated because like this is her first crush or whatever. And like, she was having such success where like, as you see, like as they're singing karaoke or hanging out, like Ryan's like touching her leg. And these are her, like I said, it's her first crush, her first interaction with another woman outside of her as friends. So it's just like it's kind of like a confirmation and all these different things. So like she is devastated. So she jumps out of the pool, she gets dressed, and she's searching for her best friend Molly.
Mm-hmm.
And Molly also elated because
Yeah.
what's been happening with her and Nick has been going way more positive than she thought. They did have stuff in common. He's decided to see her there. Like, she's being mean to him, and he's like taking it as just flirting and stuff like that. But so she doesn't recognize that Amy's like just devastated and wants to leave.
Yep.
And so like she's not letting Amy talk. So Amy just calls out Malala.
Yeah.
Because it was like we've seen it early in the movie. It's like you're just supposed to support your friend no matter what.
Yep.
But Molly doesn't do that.
Molly gives her a big nope.
So they get into this huge fight about how like Molly like steamrolls Amy, and like, Molly saying like, Amy, never, I do that because you never do anything.
Yeah, without me, you just be in your room and never do anything ever.
And so like then it comes to light that Amy isn't going. So Amy is supposed to go to Botswana for the summer, and then start Columbia in the fall. Mm-hmm. Even though like they're going to be separated. One's in New York, one's in New Haven, but like they have once again, Molly, they have a plan.
Yep.
The 4-year plan to graduate together.
Which Molly made for Amy.
Yes. But Amy had and didn't tell her that she was going to Botswana for the year. She was going to take a gap year and start Columbia a year late. Mm-hmm. And so like they just erupt at one another in the middle of the party, and then like
this is where 2019 kicks in because everyone records it on their phones. Literally everyone.
And it was interesting too. Like the audio drops at one point, and you just see like hear them mouthing words, see them mouthing words, but you don't actually hear the exchange. Yeah. But you could just tell that it is devastating for Amy, and she walks away.
Yep. Walks away. It ends with Molly very clearly saying fuck you. You can't hear, but you can see.
So Amy goes to the bathroom, and like she's crying, and who's in the bathroom but Hope?
Hope, who's like the mean girl from like earlier.
No, well, she's more like the rebel chick.
Yeah, kind of sarcastic and like just
because I see Mean Girl as like a Regina George.
Fair, yeah,
and then like she was more like Janice from Mean Girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, so like the rebel chick, and it was just like the rebel chick's in the bathroom, I think smoking or something like, and she starts. They have an exchange where like she's making fun of Amy, and Amy like kind of bites back. Yeah, and all this turns into like them making out, and so she finally has her first kiss.
Yeah, literally, my reaction to this was, I'm like, Hope, what the fuck? Why are you even here? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, oh, okay.
I see what you're doing.
I'm like, okay, I see it.
And then, so while this is happening in the bathroom between Amy and Hope, Molly is sitting by herself, and Jared comes. Yep. And they have an exchange where he's just like, nobody in the school gets me. There's rumors about me going around and stuff like that. But like what he really wants to do is
airplanes and produce
musicals. Design airplanes and then make money off of that and just produce musicals. Yeah. And he's hoping that's very that coming of age thing. It was just like, I feel like so many teenagers, like wherever you're from, people don't get you, but it's that hope that if I go to college or I leave here, I can find my tribe. Yep. I can find people that get me. I don't have to pretend and all that stuff. And then like they make the comment about Gigi, right? Yeah.
And Molly stayed being judgmental.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, Gigi." And he says, "Yeah, Gigi's crazy, but she's really a sad person."
Yeah, and she's loyal. Yeah.
But beside that being sad, he said, "But she is loyal as hell. Like she has his back." So it's like you see why he kind of puts up with her. It's like he doesn't see it as putting up with her. It was just like he understands who she is. She understands who he is, and like that's what works for them. Yeah. And it's kind of like opens like Molly a bit. And then so like you have I guess back in the bathroom you have this exchange where like Amy is having her first sexual encounter. Like she already had her first kiss. Yeah. She has her first sexual encounter with a woman, but like obviously like it's your first time, like things go a little bit wrong.
I love it was done so well. You know, because like that awkward fumbling. Right? Yeah. Like the awkward fumbling of like, oh, you're trying to take someone's pants off. Oh, you have to like take off your shoes first. There's like all this awkward fumbling.
And then it was like something happens and like she's apologizing. But then it was like Hope is very surprising because Hope being like the kind of an asshole. Yeah. It was like very understanding. But I guess Amy
freaks out,
goes to take a drink. I think I had like cigarette butts in it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And she vomits
on Hope.
And then Hope is like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Like,
so
I just
Hope hops in the shower and like she tells Amy to leave.
Yeah.
And so like Amy leaves, and then I think as she's leaving, the cops arrive.
Yeah, cops.
And so like this is but right before the cops arrive, Molly has had this exchange with Jared, so her eyes are kind of open, kind of. And then she goes to the bathroom, I guess, looking for either Nick or Amy. I'm not really sure. Yes. But then she sees Nick. Ryan and Nick hooking up, and so she was like, "Oh, this is what upset Amy." Yep. And then she goes looking for Amy, but then the cops arrive. So it's just like, and everybody kind of like rushes her out, which is very interesting, not to compare it to Superbad, where Jonah Hill made sure he got Michael Cera out, even though we were fighting.
Yeah.
But Molly's not able to do that because people are pushing her out.
Yeah, people are pushing
her out. So she's walking, like she's left the party, she's walking home. And at the party, Amy and a few others are kind of stuck in a room. The cops it's just two cops there, but they're blocking the entrance. And so like one of the guys is like, oh, we are so fucked. We're gonna. So like Amy steps up and she's like, all right, listen up. I'm gonna create a distraction and you guys get the fuck out of here. So she runs out of the front door, distracting the cops. The rest of the party leaves, which
is so great because Amy, like, she's like, "I'm not a coward."
I'm not a coward. She runs into because the exchange, the fight that they had. One of the biggest things was like, just Amy doesn't do anything. If it wasn't for Molly pushing her, she wouldn't do anything. So to change that narrative, she distracts the cops for the rest of her classmates. So like she gets arrested, and then Molly's walking home. And who pulls up the AAA?
Annabelle.
You don't say that name. And so like we get another it's very cool to see like you said, she may not have been fully redeemed at the end of the movie, but she does get these moments. So like AAA picks up Molly, and she kind of gives her backstory, kind of this thing where just like the reason why she got that nickname is because she just picked people up when their cars broke down. And then she goes, I mean, of course, I blew them out.
Like we hooked up, but
it was just like it wasn't like that. Like it was guys just being assholes, and I think it was very interesting, especially talking about like the modern times, where she was just like she expected the guys to do that because guys are assholes, but it was when the women started calling her that also that really hurt because you would expect that people from your team have your back because they know that the other team is being assholes. And she just asked that, because earlier she was saying she was going to ignore Molly at Yale next year, but she was like, I won't ignore you, or whatever. But she was like, just don't call me that. Because
don't call me AAA.
At Yale, because once again, it is this moving away from wherever you're from to somewhere else. You can reinvent yourself. You can become anew. So like having Molly there before they're having that exchange might have kind of ruined her kind of her renewal or rebirth. So they have a nice exchange. He goes, where the fuck do you live? Because they don't know her.
They have no idea. No one really knows Molly like
AAA
that.
Or Annabelle drops. Oh, no, that was an exchange. So she was like, just don't call me AAA. So she goes, okay, Annabelle. She was like, not right now. Jesus. So she, Molly gets dropped off. She falls asleep. And she wakes up the next morning to a bunch of alerts and stuff like that. And you see that she sees that Amy got arrested. And it's fucking nerd. She's just like going on this whole rant about how there's more prisons and colleges in California.
When Amy's
$71,000 a year.
That's more than Harvard.
That's more. And she goes, shotgun. Never mind.
I don't have one.
It was so fucking funny. So then immediately Molly runs to the jail to try to get her friend out. And as she's walking down the hallway, she recognizes a sketch.
There's a wanted poster
on the police bulletin board. And so another thing is too, like, so she they obviously they're in prison, so it's like behind the glass talking on the phone, and just their friendship, even though they just had a fight. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not here for you."
I'm not here for you.
Like hangs up, and it was just like I just love their friendship. Like they really did it well. And so like they apologize, and like they, Molly apologized saying, I realized why you were upset. I've been a bad friend and stuff like that. And they use the information about this strangler that's been in their name.
The strangler is the pizza guy.
The pizza guy.
The Valley
That's
Strangler.
why he was very specific about, I could have hog-tied you, done some shit up. Like,
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So they use that information to break Amy out of prison. Out of jail. And then, so they drive to graduation because they are both the valedictorian and salutatorian.
And you have a quick cutaway too of like the principal and everyone being like, yo, where's Molly to start the speech? And Gigi, again, what is Gigi doing? She is just playing piano impeccably. She just has, like, I don't know enough about classical piano to know which concerto or whatever in Essence 5 that was, but amazing. And she's just such a funny character. But so then also now they're driving and like, school's 17 minutes away. Let's get there in 7. And Amy is just swerving in and out of everything, running every red light and stop sign. I'm like, you just got out of jail. You just got out of jail and you're driving like this. You're going to get caught again.
So Jared, because Molly told Jared to kind of like start the speech without her. So that's another funny exchange where like he's reading Molly's speech. She was like, "I am a woman. you white males, your time is up."
It's from Jared, who is a white man.
And so like they arrive and like their classmates cheer them on. They cheer Amy because they know that like she saved a bunch of their classmates. And so she goes to the podium and she kisses Jared.
Okay, yeah. Molly kisses Jared.
Molly kisses Jared, realizing that he really likes her. So she gives a speech. Well, she doesn't give her original speech. She basically, once again, this is her turn, saying that she spent so much time kind of hating them or something like that.
Well, she was afraid of them, and she's sorry because she didn't learn as much about them as she should have, and she's sorry she didn't, but because she was scared.
And then she ends the speech with, "You're all pretty great. Don't let college fuck it up."
Yeah.
And then you go off, and it jumps to a few days later where Amy is helping Molly is helping Amy get ready to go to the airport to go to Botswana.
Yep. Yeah.
And then they have a little funny exchanges with the with the parents, and then there was somebody at the door for Amy, and it's Hope.
Yes.
Because she's there to return the
dress,
the
underwear and dress and stuff.
That she had thrown up in at the party, and it was like they have this cute exchange where like they obviously really like each other. And even though she's going away for a while, like maybe they can kind of keep in touch. I think Hope gives
a note of some sort.
Gives a note. I assume it's a number, whatever. But that's a cute exchange, and like Molly's like super surprised because I guess Amy never told her about her first. Oh no, she did. No,
I don't think Molly didn't know.
Not at the time.
Yeah, Molly did not know at the time.
So just like
she told her later.
Yeah. And so there's that exchange. So it's a hopeful for you see. Molly is gonna maybe pursue something with Jared. Amy has Hope. So it's like once I got to keep bringing up. I'll bring it up later. But so then you finally see Molly driving Amy to the airport for her flight, and it was just like a very emotional exchange. Like you see like them realizing, and like I said, this is what it was like very reminiscent of the end of Superbad.
Yeah, when they're like looking back at each
other.
Where
they're in the mall, and it was like this. They know they're gonna, obviously they're going to separate colleges or have separate plans. But this is like visibly like them showing like this stuff. But they have things going on, and they're going to be okay.
Yeah. And
so you have like Amy walking away, going into the airport. Molly kind of driving away, really upset that she's losing her friend, but okay with it. And then like, okay. Amy just jumps in front of the car.
Yeah.
Them being friends, and it was just like, I can be the last one on the plane. Let's go get fucking pancakes.
Which doesn't make sense. Like that's not how planes work. That's not. I mean, you can. That's totally true. But you don't have enough time to go and get pancakes before your plane. Just throwing that out there.
But that is the end of the movie, and it was just like really cool. Then you see like not post credits, but it was like as the credits are rolling, you see each of the cast members getting hit with water balloons.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just like the end of the movie was like really just great. So it was like emotional, but then it is that's senior year for you. That's why I always love like Grease. It is just like transition to the next stage.
Yeah.
And like you love these people, you hope you'll stay in you'll stay in touch, but like it is that possibility, like what's next.
But that is the movie. That is Booksmart. Mike, after reviewing it, do you want to change your initial rating?
No, I give it a 4.5. It's a solid 4.5. I loved it. Like I said, I have nothing. I loved, like you said, Gigi was amazing.
Yep.
Each character like had their own thing. It didn't even. I mean, it fell into I guess teenage cliches, but it was like still fine. Like
it was definitely still there was fresh takes on it.
Yeah, like I said, I think the best thing was the fact that like it didn't lean into like them dropping the ball with like their love interest, where like they're just assholes. Like when you get to know them, type of thing. They're just teenagers being teenagers. Like it is what it is, type of thing. Yeah. I think I just really like that for Nick, especially because I could see where it could have gone.
Oh yeah, he could have been like your stereotypical John.
Yeah, but he was just a cool guy. So it was like 4.5. So I have really nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, 4 for me still. Again, every character besides Molly I really liked. I don't think she fully learned her lesson at the end, to be completely honest. But hey, I'm not her. I can't read her mind. But repeating what Mike said. And also we talk about, it's a very fresh take on common cliches and tropes, which was fun and which was very fun to watch and entertaining to see. That's the exact same thing. But other than that, Yeah, that is us. We are the Two Meddling Kids. If you'd like to reach out to us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, we are at Two Meddling Kids. Mike, how can they reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram at Days from Legendary. And that is it. Leave me alone on everything else.
And if you'd like to reach out to me, I am EdHunt77 on Twitter and Instagram. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have any ideas for things we should review next or any comments, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.